Welcome to week 2 for July in reading vlog style. I've decided I want to take a month and kind of do this, especially since I've got Love in the Night coming up. So this one will probably extend until we hit Love in the Night, which is the 17th. So this will be a little longer than a week. But I kind of like doing it vlog style right now. I don't know why. I'm just going to go with it. Creatively, it feels really nice. So that's how we're going to do it. I've wrapped up everything that I've read thus far in the previous vlog. I'll leave that linked in the corner, whichever corner it is. I think it's this one. And then I've picked out my next read. One thing I forgot to mention in that vlog is I did finish Mistborn, The Final Empire, which is the first book in the Mistborn series. I really enjoyed my reread of this. I'm not going to talk too in depth about it because it is a reread. I'm just refreshing all of my stuff before the new book comes out. My audiobook this week will most likely be The Well of Ascension, continuing on in that reread. I might slip something else in there. I haven't decided yet, but that is the main audiobook for the week. Physical book-wise, I want to start The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. This is on my 22 to read in 2022 list. And I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's calling to me at the moment. So we're going to go with it. We're going to ride the wave. We're going to have a good time. It'll be fab. Today I posted the 6K Q&A, and then the vlog will go up on Monday. So that way, what I'll probably do is wrap this one up the Saturday before Love in the Night. And then I'll take a day off from reading so that I'm fresh for the readathon, starting fresh. All that good stuff, and take that day to edit so I can have it up on that next day, on that Monday. So I guess we start on the Sunday, don't we? We start on the 17th. So I'll try to have this up on the 18th, and then we'll have the week of Love in the Night. So anyways, like you care about the semantics of my upload schedule. Anyhow, so yes, Princess Trap is going to be my main physical read to start out. I do want to pick up some more manga this week. I really didn't pick up too much last week. I just focused on Inuyasha. I'd like to get more volumes read this week, so I can say I've read more than 5 volumes this month. So that's also going to be a focus. I've got quite a few that I'd love to catch up on. And those I just mood read. I never plan out a TBR for those. So we'll just see what I feel like as we go along. Once I've read something, once I either get into this or I've read some manga, I'll check back in with you. Hello, good morning. So I did do a little bit of reading last night. So let's chat about what I read really quick. So I read Vampire Dormitory Volume 5, which was solid and went in a direction I wasn't necessarily expecting. So now I understand why the series is as long as it is. So I'm really interested to see where this one ends up going in the next volume because it's very interesting right now. And then I did some catching up on Lovesick Ellie. I'm still 1 volume behind in reading it, but I do own volume 4. I just ran out of time last night. So I did read volumes 2 and 3 last night. And for the most part, I'm really enjoying Lovesick Ellie. I do think it's a little overrated. Sorry, not sorry. But I feel like the hero is almost a little too tsundere for me. You know, after the first volume, I thought he would mellow quite a bit, but he's still very much the same. And I'm still enjoying it at this point because our heroine is really sweet and I really love her. So I hope he started to mellow a little bit again in volume 3. So I'm hoping that trend kind of continues. He continues to soften towards her. He tends to let down his barriers a little bit and things go from there. So that's the hope right now. So I do plan to continue at this point. I'm not at a point where it's like, yeah, no, I'm done. So yeah. Anyways, I have work today. I'm not feeling super great again today.
but I feel good enough to try going into work, so that's the plan right now. And yeah, so that's what's going on with me. Depending on whether I stay at work or I go home today, will kind of determine the rest of today's portion of the vlog. This might be the only portion for today. We'll see, but when I've read more, I will let you guys know. Hello, good morning. It is now Sunday. I ended up getting off of work a lot earlier than originally planned, and I wasn't feeling my best. So I just came home and then just kind of had a very chill day. Did some AFK stuff I needed to do in Minecraft, and while I was doing that, I got some reading done. So first up, let's chat about some manga I got read. So I read volumes 4 and 5 of The Tale of the Outcast. This now has me current with the series, and it's now taken on a slightly more different feel than it did initially with the series, but I am still very happy with the direction of it. If you're a fan of The Ancient Magus Bride, I really think you'll enjoy this one. Wisteria is an amazing character. She is a young woman who was a street urchin who made a contract with a demon, and she gave him her eyesight. And so she is now blind and just kind of perceives the world in a, slightly paranormal way. Her demon Marbus is really interesting. This is her older brother who got a job and was coming back to rescue her and to take care of her. But Marbus was able to help Wisteria, and he actually fights demons. So there's a really interesting dynamic there. But the whole thing is amazing. I really am enjoying the direction. It's going a little darker than I initially expected it to, but I'm really okay with the direction of this series. It is fantastic. I really love the art. Again, if you're a fan of Ancient Magus Bride, I really think you'll enjoy this one. This one releases a little more often than Ancient Magus Bride right now, as we're current with Japan with that one. But yes, really, really loving continuing that story. And then I did get started on The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. This is going to be my main focus today, reading-wise. I really enjoyed the intro of this. We've already found out that he's a prince, where usually that trope is revealed much later in the story, but we already know he's a prince. And we're like 40 pages in, so I'm down with that. I'm really interested to see what Hibbert does with the rest of the story. So it's going to be really interesting. Once I've read some more, I will check in and let you know. Okay, so I just finished The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. I thought this was a really interesting take on a fake engagement royalty kind of trope. As always, Talia Hibbert's writing is top notch, and I really enjoyed Ruben and Cherry so much. I thought they were so fun. They were such a fun couple to read, and I just loved everything about this. Like, I don't have too much else to say about it, honestly. The dynamics, the royal family dynamics were really interesting. Had some darker undertones to it that I wasn't necessarily expecting going into it. So trigger warning for domestic abuse. That's all I'll say there. But yes, not involving Ruben or Cherry for that matter. Just making that very clear. It doesn't involve our main characters at all. It's family members of Ruben's is how I'll word that. But yes, that ended up being a bigger part of the story than I initially thought it would be. And I really liked how it all played out. And I like how they came around to being a couple of their own, not just wrapped up in this fake engagement. And yes, would definitely recommend this one for Talia Hibbert lovers. I still feel like you can tell this is earlier writing than like the Brown Sisters for Hibbert, just because I feel like it has a little bit less polish than those. Granted, they're traditionally pubbed, and this one's indie pubbed, so that might be the difference. I don't know for sure. But yes, I still really honestly loved this and would definitely recommend it. I do need to start my buddy read with Lindsay. We're reading Dial A for Aunties, so that's going to be fun. We haven't really done any mysteries yet because I'm usually a chicken, but I was very interested in this particular one, so I'm very excited to start that today. I've decided this week, manga-wise, I'm going to kind of focus on playing catch up on series and get caught up on a bunch of the ones that I have like multiple volumes of that I just need to sit and read to get current. So there'll probably be some Blue Period this week, some B-Stars, Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter. I do have that other volume of Lovesick Ellie I need to read. But yeah, I've got a few series kind of like that where I have multiple volumes that I want to catch up on, kind of like I did with Inuyasha last week. So yeah, I think that's going to be my focus this week.
Good morning. So it is now Monday morning. I've been doing morning updates mostly so far in this vlog. So I did start Dial A for Aunties. I read the 50-ish pages that Lindsay and I were supposed to read yesterday. This is going to be really fun. And honestly, there is no love lost for the guy who dies in this because he is a total Jack A. I hated him. So the fact that he died, I'm like not even sad about. Like he is just the epitome of like the stereotypical awful man to me. Like even when they were like, before it got to the point where you knew he was super bad, I was already not liking him. So I'm okay with this. But we're getting flashbacks of this guy named Nathan from like college time, I want to say, high school, college. And they were really good friends. So I think that's the guy that she's going to like end up with. But I don't know how he's like tied into everything or how he comes back into the picture. I don't know. So I'm really interested to see how this goes. We're at the point where the aunties are going to get called in. So I'm really excited to see how the meddlesome aunties are going to come in and save the day and help hide the body. So, I mean, this is something that you're going to have to suspend your disbelief. I mean, obviously, this isn't meant to be real. You know, you don't bring your crew of aunties to hide a body. Like, that's just not what happens. So, it's going to be really interesting. And yes, going to be a lot of fun. I also read volumes 5, 6, and 7 of Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter. So, there's volume 5. Volume 6, and Volume 7. So this series is absolutely fantastic. If you like a political-centered story where there's a lot of political maneuvering, I mean, basically there are two princes vying for the throne. The king is on his deathbed, and there's a lot of political maneuvering. There's a stepmother that's trying to get her son on the throne, when the rightful heir obviously wants the throne as well, and factions are being made and divided and stuff. And it's super interesting because this duke's daughter is caught up between them because she was originally engaged to the second prince, but the second prince falls in love with somebody else and jilts her, essentially. And so because of that, it has an isekai element where a modern woman is put in her body after all of this has happened, like after the jilting has happened, and she basically goes after the new bride-to-be to the second prince. But from there, her modern woman takes over, and she starts ruling a fiefdom and draws the attention of someone else. His name is Dean. I love Dean. I love Dean so much. I want her to be with Dean. But Dean has a secret, and I can't tell you Dean's secret. But yes, so basically she's moving her way towards the faction of the first prince. So it's very, very interesting. I'm very excited. And yes, very much loving it. So that's all that I ended up getting read yesterday. I was hoping to read a little bit more, but I was very tired. So I caught up on some sleep and some things like that. So I do have work today, so I'm going to work. And then it's a shorter shift, so I'll come home and probably get some more reading done. So I would love to finish all that's out of the Accomplishment of the Duke's Daughter, which is only volume 8. So I've only got one volume of that. I need to do my pages for Dial A for Aunties today. And then I will pick another physical read that's not my buddy read, because I need to keep going with that. I should say my current audiobook is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I am doing my reread of this series, so that is why that is happening. But I'm still really enjoying it. There are a lot of details that I forgot about the specifics of this series, and so it's really good to refresh everything before I go in and read the final book in the second era of Mistborn, The Last Metal, that's coming out later this year. So that's where I'm at on my reading. Good morning, friends. So it's now Tuesday. I've just, showered and gotten my hair kind of scrunched and done for the day. So I'm going to talk to you about what I ended up reading yesterday. No books completed. This has been a very manga-heavy week. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I haven't had a really strong desire to read a ton of manga in a minute, so this feels really good. So first up, I did finish getting caught up on Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter. This is the most recent volume. It just came out recently. And this volume is amazing. I love this series so much. Like, more people should be reading Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter because this is top tier. This is amazing. It is very politically driven. So if you don't like a politically driven story, this won't be for you. But because it's so politically driven, it makes the characters have this depth and nuance that's sometimes missing in stories for me. So I really appreciate everything going on in this series. It's so, so good. The one I read after that is I picked up the most recent volume of My Love Mix-Up, which is volume 4. I love this series. And this volume just solidified that this series is really better than I expected it to be. I have a whole Instagram post about it, so you can go and check that out. I'm sliding. Hold on. There we go. Anyways, My Love Mix-Up, better than I expected it to be. Absolutely fantastic. I love these two so much. Aoki and Ida are amazing. I love them. And their relationship feels so real and so organic. Like, all of the beats of their relationship, it's a very slow burn relationship, but I feel like it's a very realistic relationship. Because Ida wasn't even sure how he felt about Aoki until this volume. Like, he knew he liked spending time with him, but he wasn't sure if it was romantic. But then he figured out he was teasing him because he liked him. It's cute. I'm done. I will spoil more if I keep going. And then I decided I would pick up the 2 volumes of Creepy Cat that I hadn't gotten to yet. So we have volume 2 and volume 3. This story is full of shenanigans. It's really cute. And Creepy Cat is the best. But volume 3 in particular actually had a full story arc through the volume, which was great because these are 4-coma style. And this one, as well as volume 1, I feel like we're just getting to know our players. And there was a new character introduced in this volume that is now playing a bigger part. But volume 3 actually had a solid story arc through the whole thing, and it made it much more enjoyable for me. So I ended up really enjoying this, and the series is great. I really am just having a great time. The art is very quirky, very goth girl, and I love it. It's just amazing, and I cannot wait for more. So that is what I ended up reading yesterday. I have a lot of work to do today, and I'm spending some time with Maeve, so I don't know that I'm going to get much reading done, but the next manga I want to tackle on getting caught up on is Blue Period, because I am 5 volumes behind. I've only read the first 2, but I own at least through volume 6. I don't think I've picked up volume 7 yet, so I would like to get caught up on that one. So that's my next manga focus on getting caught up on series, because it feels really good to get caught up on series for me right now. I've been feeling overwhelmed by my manga TBR, so this is really helping me kind of tackle that in a way that feels like I'm accomplishing something, because it's just little bite-sized chunks, if I can talk. So I'm going to grab a couple of the volumes, and then I'm going to head out to work, and we'll see what I get read today. Good morning, friends. So my reading plans yesterday changed. It's now Wednesday. So let's chat about the manga that I read yesterday. So I focused on finishing some series because some final volumes came out that I was very excited about. But one of these volumes is actually not a final volume because the mangaka decided to continue, so I'm very excited. I'll save that one for last. But first up, Those Not So Sweet Boys, volume 7, is the end. I'm really pleased with how this ended. It was very open-ended in a way, so you can kind of surmise how things went from there. And I really liked how they did that, especially where they're still in high school. It's not one of those where they did a time skip and everybody gets a happily ever after kind of a thing.
And I really like the way this one ended. Some people might not feel fully satisfied at the end, but I'm very happy with how things ended. So, Those Snow Not So Sweet Boys was an excellent ending. Definitely my favorite from Yoko no Giri. I like that we had a few more volumes to fully flesh out the story so it feels complete. Because my biggest complaint about That Wolf Boy Is Mine is that it needed another volume or two to really kind of wrap it up. So this one had enough room to breathe, so everything felt like it was meant to be. So very much happy about that. The next one is Scattering His Virgin Bloom. Now, I was kind of iffy about Volume 1 because there is a borderline incest subplot to this. Because our blonde guy here is an Omega, his alpha brother has always been interested in him, but our Omega character never was, and so he's just been trying to avoid him for a long time. And now that he has Renjaku, it's no one but Renjaku for him. So we put the brother swiftly in his place. And the way things work out between Renjaku and Hana is his name. I couldn't think of his name. Hana or Hana, however you say it. The two of them, their relationship and the way it grows, and the way that Renjaku shifts his worldview because of Hana is nice. I really enjoyed that. And the way the two of them are together is great. This is a very sexy volume. It's sealed for a reason. But yes, I really enjoyed it. And then the other one that's going to be getting more, and I'm so excited, is Day the Report About My Witch Senpai. So yesterday I went and looked because originally I thought it was ending, and it's like, is it really ending? I'm going to go look. And Manga Update said it was ongoing, and it said it had 47 chapters. And I'm like, okay, so I'll read the whole volume. If it ends before 47 chapters, I know it's really ongoing. So this ends at chapter 42. And what happened is this was originally the ending, but because of popularity and because it was so well loved, the mangaka decided to continue their journey. So I'm very excited that we're going to get more in this series. It's still ongoing in Japan, so we won't get it for like 6 months or so. But I'm so excited because I love these two so much. They have a very healthy dynamic. And throughout this volume, you see them have some struggles and go through some hard things. But the way that they are solidly at each other's backs is fantastic. And I love it so much. And the art is amazing. And I just love them. So I'm so excited we're getting more because I'm very, very happy. So that's all I ended up reading yesterday. I didn't touch Blue Period yet. But there's another... I'm feeling very conflicted here for a minute. So today is catch up on Dial A for Aunties because I didn't get any read yesterday. So I need to read yesterday's and today's pages, which is about 100. Which I'm having a blast with that, by the way. It's a good time. And then my next physical book I want to read is Dance with the Fae King, or Fae Prince. Fae Prince. And so that's going to be a big focus of my reading today. I'll work on some Blue Period, but I don't think I'm going to get current with it today because there's another series that's finished that I have the final volume that I need to sit down and read like 3 volumes of to finish it off. The reason I've been putting off, it's Perfect World. Volume 10 has some miscarriage tropes, a miscarriage trigger for it. So, yeah, and then the second to last volume has some infertility tropes going on. So those are 2 triggers for me. I've not had children for a reason, essentially. It's not an intentional choice per se, but my body has just decided that it doesn't want to do that. So anyway, I've been putting it off. Now that I have the end, I think I just need to sit down and focus on that. So today, where I don't have much going on, I think is a good day to do that. So if I need to like pause and wallow, I can. And if it starts to be too much, I can take some time. So I think today's the day. I think we're going to focus on Perfect World.
Hello. So it is much later in the day now. I haven't done any manga reading yet, but I did read the entirety of Dance of the Fae Prince by Elise Kova. I really like this series. I really like what she's doing with them. There is a romantic element to the stories, but it's not overwhelming. But they have beautiful fantasy backgrounds that it's all happening within. This is very political in nature because we have our Fae Prince here who is bound and determined to get the power that he needs to take the throne because there's a usurper currently on the throne, and just how he goes about all of it is really interesting. She's a political marriage to get a particular thing that he needs to complete a ritual to get the rest of the power. So when things go wrong and the power goes to her instead of him, they go on this epic journey together. And I really enjoyed myself. I do think I enjoyed this one a little bit more than the previous one, just because there weren't any direct comparisons, I guess. The other one was being touted as a couple of other books, and it didn't quite land those notes. But this one wasn't compared to anything. It's just another installment in the same world. And it was brilliant. I really enjoyed myself. Like I say, I do think I enjoyed this one a little bit more than the previous one. And I'm really looking forward to the next one because the next one's going to involve a vampire male lead. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So yes, just wanted to check in with that. Again, I haven't read much else. I did actually listen to the audio of this one, and I really enjoyed the narrator. I thought they did a brilliant job, and I just had a great time. I did that because I've just been doing some peaceful video game playing today, because that's how I'm spending my day off today. So, that's how I'm going to kind of continue. I'll probably do some reading here in a little bit, because I still need to catch up on Dial A for Aunties. But, like, reading with my eyeballs, not just audio reading. And then I'd love to get some manga reading done today, too. So, we'll see what happens. I'm really enjoying my game time, so I'm just going to enjoy that and turn Well of Ascension back on. I took a pause on that to do this one. And yeah, I'm going to pick right back up where I left off, and we'll move forward. So, hi. I finally read it. And I cried. No one's surprised here. I knew I would cry. That's part of why I'd been putting this one off. But I have to be honest and say that this is one of the most beautiful volumes in the series for me, because I can relate to it. This doesn't directly involve Itsuki in the same way a lot of the other volumes have, because, you know, with his situation, he can only do so much. Tsumugi's the one who has to have all the treatments and do all the tough stuff and has to go to all the doctor's appointments and all those kinds of things, and it's just, oh, it was so hard to read. I have never read a manga that tackled infertility at all. This is the first time I've ever come across it, and it was done perfectly, just like so many other things in this series. It was handled with so much tact and so much taste and so much real and raw emotion that you just can't not appreciate what it's doing. And I'm really good. I'm emotionally where I'm at right now, because if I had read this on a bad day, it would have been real bad for me, and I would basically be a puddle right now. But yeah, I know this is the toughest volume because this is the one that deals with all of that. From here, it looks like they're going the adoption route. So now it'll be all of that stuff coming up. So the next 2 volumes won't be nearly as hard as this one was, but man. Whew, that was a doozy. Hello, welcome to my chaotic Thursday. So, I am trapped in my house today because they are paving my road. So, I am stuck at home, and I want nothing more than to get out of my house. Welcome to the chaos that is me. But when it comes to reading updates, There was a clip talking about volume 10 of Perfect World last night, and I did go on to read volume 11 and volume 12. This series really is perfect in its own way. I am so pleased with this series. Now, if you want, you can finish the series at volume 9 and not worry about these last 3 volumes if you don't want to. I think you'll be satisfied either way. I love these characters so much. I'm glad I got a couple more volumes with them, even though volume 10 was so hard to read. It was also very rewarding for me to read because I felt seen in a manga. Volume 10 deals with infertility, as I said. And then volume 11, we start the adoption process and go through that. And then 12 is just a look at their life a few years later. And it was beautiful. I loved everything about it. And I would definitely recommend the series as a whole. I am a hot mess today. But I do need to edit a haul so that you guys have that to watch. And then I would like to get some more reading done today. I need to go grab volume 4 of Lovesick Ellie so that I can get that read and be current on that series. And then I need to start on Blue Period because I would like to finish getting caught up on Blue Period before Love in the Night starts. And I only have 2 days, well, 3 days including today, to get current. Because I probably won't be reading much manga next week. Gonna focus on the paranormal stuff. And I don't have too much paranormal manga right now. Not paranormal romance, at least. I mean, I might throw Phantom Tales of the Night Volume 8 and Can't Stop Cursing You Volume 3, because those fall a little more paranormal. But they're not paranormal romances at all. So I may throw those into the mix. I haven't decided yet. I keep looking at my TBR. That's why I'm not, like, looking at you. So sorry. But yeah, so today is going to be content and reading. That's today. Because I'm stuck at home. So yeah, that's the plan. And we shall see what's going on. I'm going to try to finish Dial A for Aunties because I'm not sure I'm going to have too much time for that tomorrow. So yeah, that's the plan. But yes, I'm very excited. Life is good. See you soon. Good morning. So yes, it is once again morning. I did finish Dial A for Aunties. I had a great time reading this book. It is bonkers and banana pants and not at all based in reality, but man, it was sure fun. I had a great time. It had a weekend at Bernie's moment. And yeah, like Dial A for Aunties is fun. If you're looking for just like a fun romp that has a little bit of a mystery to it and crazy Asian aunties, then go for it. Like, this was so fun. The romance aspect is pretty unbelievable as a romance reader. So don't expect it to be this big sweeping romance in the middle of this mystery, because that's definitely not what's going on here. But yeah, this is like a second chance romance kind of situation. So all of their like establishing of their relationship is in the past, and then they run into each other and he's like, I'm still obsessed with you, what went wrong with us, blah blah blah, and things kind of go from there. So again, not bad, really fun, had a great time. Yes, would recommend going to pick up the sequel probably when I'm at work today, because today's payday. And yeah, so didn't do as much reading as I wanted to yesterday. That's my only reading update at this moment. But I am going to take Blue Period with me to work. I have some other errands over near my work today, but they're pretty spread out in time. So I may just stay over there and read for a while. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do yet. So we'll see how things play out. But I would like to get caught up on Blue Period either today or tomorrow so that we can finish out this week getting current on another series, which would be fantastic. I mean, I feel really accomplished. So even if I don't get that done or don't even make progress on it, I still feel really good about the reading that I've gotten done this week. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't think I'll read too much manga next week just because of Love in the Night. And I would love to read as much paranormal as I can. And again, I don't have a lot of paranormal romance manga. I do have that volume of Rose and Blood, so I'll most likely read that. If I'm desperate for a manga fix, maybe I'll reread Millennium Snow or something. I don't know. I haven't fully decided yet. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at this morning. Once I've read something else, I'll check in with you. Or if I don't end up reading anything else, we'll wrap things up. I'll come back. I'll show you. I'll quickly go through, once again, everything that I read this week. And so I'll talk to you at least one more time in this vlog. All right, friends. It is officially Sunday, which means it's the first day for Love in the Night. So I need to wrap up this vlog so I can start that vlog. So I did not read anymore since my last clip, but I want to just quickly go over everything that I read this week. So let's go through the 3 books, and then we'll go through the pile of manga that I got read this week. So first up, we have The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. I quite liked this one. You can tell this is an earlier novel of hers. I don't think it was quite as strong as some of her others, but I did really enjoy this. It gave me a lot more than I was expecting it to. So yes, quite enjoyed. Dance of the Fae Prince. I did like this better than Deal with the Elf King personally. I feel like this just had a stronger plot overall, and it felt a little more believable because we were already working within an established world and an established frame of mind, and the couple was just really interesting to me. So really enjoyed this one. And then Dial A for Aunties is just a fun romp. So if you're looking for something fun with a little bit of mystery, it's just a great time. Like, I had a blast reading this book. Like, I'm definitely picking up the sequel. I'm going to read it very, very soon. Lindsay and I are both very excited to continue because we just had a great time reading it. Is it the most, like, revolutionary thing ever? No, but it was a great time. Okay, let's get into the pile of manga that I talked about in this vlog. So I did finish up Perfect World. I read volumes 10, 11, and 12. They were very emotional volumes for me for a variety of reasons. Mostly it does deal with infertility and adoption. So yes, I have a lot of feelings and emotions about them, but the series is wonderful. I would 10 out of 10 recommend the series to anybody who is interested, because I feel like both of our characters grow in a multitude of ways throughout the entire series, and the way they grow and the way that they shift their worldviews into their perfect world is amazing. Next, Daily Report About My Witch Senpai Volume 2. I'm so excited we're going to be getting more in this series. This was originally the ending, but because the mangaka, it was so well accepted, they decided to continue. So I'm very excited to see where this one goes now, because it is just too adorable. I love these characters so much. I'm so excited. This would be like if Sweat and Soap continued for me. Like, it's that level of cute and that level of love for characters. Next, I have Scattering His Virgin Bloom Volume 2, which is the final volume of the series. I like how the couple ended up. There's a side character that is an Omega brother, or an Alpha brother to the Omega, and he tries to force himself on the brother, on our main guy, our Omega guy. And so, yeah, that felt a little icky, but other than that, everything else within this was great. When you're dealing with Omegaverse, things get weird anyway, so just know that. All right, then I do have the final volume of Those Not So Sweet Boys. It does say final volume on the back. Somebody had said they had pre-ordered volume 9, and I'm like, there is no volume 9 for this one. So make sure that you check that kind of stuff, because if somebody's taking your money for that, they're taking you for a ride, because that's not true. This is the end. It says final volume right on the back. But I loved the ending of this. I thought it was adorable, and would 10 out of 10 recommend the series. Next, I continued on in My Love Mix-Up. I read volume 4, which is the most recent volume. I really love where our characters are going. This is very much a slow burn, and I'm honestly good with that, because it makes the relationship between these two boys feel much more real and based and grounded in the real world, not just a, idealized story. Like, it's very well done, and I'm really appreciating what it's doing. And Lightsong decided he needs to lay on the bag right now.
Next, I got current on Creepy Cat. So I read volume 2 and volume 3. This is just adorable cat shenanigans, though volume 3 did have its own little creepy story arc to it, and I really enjoyed it. I hope more volumes going forward are more like volume 3, and things are wonderful. I'm really enjoying that series. And then I got current on Accomplishments of the Doot Starter. So I read volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, and volume 8. I would 10 out of 10 recommend this series. It's one of the better series I've read in a long time. It is very politically centered. So if you do not like a political story, you probably won't enjoy this one as much as I do. But man, 10 out of 10, really loving it. All right, I also got current on Tale of the Outcasts. So I finally read volume 4 and read volume 5. Again, really love this series, really love the direction it's going. This one took a turn I wasn't expecting, but I'm on board with the turn it took. Now, I did not quite get current on Lovesick Ellie, but I did read volume 2 and volume 3 this week. I really enjoyed these volumes. Though I do think this series is a little overhyped, it is still a good, solid shoujo. I do plan to continue at this point. I'm really excited to see where Volume 4 is going to take me. I do already own it. I just didn't get around to reading it this week. And then finally, I did get current on Vampire Dormitory. I read Volume 5. Fantastic. Really loved the series. This one took a really interesting turn that I wasn't expecting, so I'm really excited to see where the future goes from here. So with that said, that is everything that I read in the last week. Let me know in the comments down below how your reading's been going, and I will see you guys in the 11 the Night vlog. Bye.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my head?